we are doing our first story time about our crazy homeroom teacher, and I'm here with my friend Carly, and since she's the one who's mostly getting the backlash of this, I'm going to go on and hand her the mic so she can tell this whole story.
Hi guys, what's up? It's Harley here. So basically I'm going to tell you about our crazy teacher. First, let's start. So, we had a teacher, but she was fired because of her background check. So then we get this teacher, she walks in on her first day and everyone goes, oh hell, this is going to be crazy. So, first day, she's nice, she seems perfectly fine, but something tells me that this is going to be the teacher that really pisses me off the most. So, let's get started. The second week of her being there, she starts harassing me and bullying me. That might sound crazy, but you can ask a young Fox gamer.
Yeah, so let's just say she started being rude. First she called me out on my ADHD in class for something that I could not control over myself. So then it started coming out on Harley. So Carly. Sorry.
So basically, if you don't know,
Hi, that girl said babe.
I and myself, and Young Fox Gamer are best friends. Our parents were friends in high school. We've known each other our entire life. We were friends. We went to school with each other since 3rd grade, and this year we finally reunited again. So, here we go. One day, Young Fox Gamer was sitting in class, and the teacher calls her out and says, "Why are you reading in my class?" We tried explaining to her about her ADHD and stuff.
Give me a second. You can play if you want.
And so basically, when we were, basically what had happened was she wasn't a fan of us. She was Italian, so you know something's wrong with her. And, so basically, it was like smooth sailing, and then we got into drama, right? This woman, I'd be in class, and I will raise my hand, and she will not help me, okay? And Young Fox Gamer over here, I'm gonna call her Fox. So Fox here was just sitting there. We raise our hands, and you know, we're white, so we get made fun of not to be racist. And
Okay, 1 minute.
And so basically we'd raise our hand. We wouldn't understand something, we would raise our hand, and then she wouldn't help us. So that was like 2 weeks ongoing. So then we started getting into recent drama, because recently this is when it's been the worst, was recently. So a couple weeks ago, I asked for help. She didn't help me. My friend Dimitri, he is very funny, okay? He makes me laugh all the time. He asked me, he literally erased some stuff off his paper and threw the shavings on my paper. And then I dumped it back on him. And then as I was laughing, this is going to sound disgusting, but as I was laughing, I snotted. And that was very funny. So we all started laughing. The entire class was laughing, and the teacher, I will say her name because I have no shame in my game, Miss Donatoni. She decided to just yell at me and tell me to get out of her class. Now, she tells me to get out of her class very often. You can ask Fox here. And she does kick me out of class, so here's her side of me getting kicked out of class.
What are you telling?
How often I get kicked out of class.
You get kicked out pretty often, like every other day.
Yeah, it's very bad. This last time was like the worst. She kicked me out of class for laughing, and the entire class was laughing. But Young Fox here, she had no idea what was going on because she was in a different room.
For testing.
For testing. And so I get kicked out. And she doesn't tell me where to go. Meanwhile, the deans are testing with separate settings because we had our check-ins that day, which is like state testing if you don't know. And so she tells me to get out. I go to look for the dean, and no dean is to be found. And I don't want to talk to the principal because the principal can be very annoying. Like, very
She really
annoying.
doesn't help with anything at this point.
I was getting bullied in art one day. She did not care. She was like, okay, and okay, goodbye. So I don't go to her very often. And so basically, I might repeat myself because, like, I have ADD and I'm not very good at processing things, so haha. And anyway, so I go find a dean. No dean to be found. And specifically, I want to talk to the girl dean because I call her she's my mom at the school. The other dean, the guy, I'm not going to name names here because they have done nothing wrong where their names needed to be pointed out. I don't know, it just girl to girl is better than girl to guy. I don't know, it's just like that. And so I decided to go to PE because the PE teacher, Miss Danaher, she really helps me. And she guides me through everything. Like, I've gone through so much this school year, and every time I go to her, she'll be like, oh, it's okay, everything's going to be okay. She helps me, she supports me through everything. She is like the best woman on this earth, and I praise her for that. I love her. And so I go to PE, I hang out, there's some second graders, and I'm like, hey, yeah, they're playing dodgeball. So me and Miss Danaher are just talking, and she tells me, you might want to go back to class. And I was like, but Miss Donatoni kicked me out for, like, she told me not to come back for 15, 20 minutes. I was only gone for 15 minutes. So, if you guys don't know, you probably don't know, at our school, we have to sign in and out now. So if we go to our locker, if we go to the bathroom, if we go anywhere, if we leave the classroom, we have to write the day, our name, where we're going, what time we left, and what time we came back. So Miss Donatoni decided to sign me out because she never told me to sign out. And I figured if you get kicked out, you don't need to sign out, right? So she signs me out. I leave the classroom at 10:10. She signs me out at 10:05. Because I watch the clock because I've learned that I've always need to be on my toes with this woman. And I decided to just, like, I don't know why. I was like, hey, I'm getting kicked out for no reason. This is wonderful. And then, so, I got kicked out, and she signed me in. I left at 10:10, right? She signed me out for 10:05. I come back at 10:27. She signs me back in for 10:43. And then after school, my mom decided to call the school because if you do not know, I'm not going to get into details, but this woman is crazy, and nobody likes her, and
we've had a few theories of what she was doing before she was a teacher.
And she is not made to be a teacher. We have had my mom and my parents and the principal and the two deans have had meetings with this lady several times.
But she just denies everything.
The meeting's done nothing. I was told that keeping a notebook on me at all times, writing down everything she does is the best thing. So I started doing that in the first meeting. In the first meeting, she denied everything, so then I started getting signatures from my friends, and then when it starts happening to my friends, like Young Fox here, I decided to have them sign it or write their side of the story. Now, so there's probably been like 13 meetings now, and anyway, so we gotta have a meeting. My mom calls the school. She says, we need another meeting. They say, well, we don't think meetings is going to work. So then, during second elective, they have a meeting. My mom is highly mad at this point because my mom is in the middle of work. If you guys don't know, my mom's a teacher. And my mom gets highly upset when she has to leave work over some crappy, unneeded things.
Especially when it comes to dealing with a teacher.
And so they have a meeting, they deny everything, and she calls my mom a-hole. And with her accent, when she said, you're an a-hole, she has an accent, and she said, oh, I didn't say that, I said something else, and, it's just, I wasn't having it, so that was that. And then not even 10 minutes after second elective, we go to lunch. And after that, I have lunch, and not even 10 minutes later, if you guys don't know, our lunch is in our classroom because we're a charter school. Not even 10 minutes later, we get, these girls, Hermilla Beyond or something like that, and Morgan Hawkins start bullying me and picking on me and harassing me. This is not the first time. They do this a lot. This is actually the 4th or 5th time. They specifically have picked on me or bullied me, and the teacher sat there and watched it and did nothing. But she's also done that with other kids.
And she was sitting there laughing at it.
Yeah, and she was just sitting there laughing, smiling, thinking it was the best time of her life. Meanwhile, this lady says she treats us like her own kids. Well, if she treats us the way she treats her kids, I feel bad for her kids.
Like, honestly.
Like, you treat us, you're supposed to, if you're gonna, so, like, in the meeting, she was like, my parents were like, she was like, I don't feel like I personally can, I don't feel I personally can, well, she said, I don't feel like I can control them, I don't feel like I can handle these 7th graders. And my mom said, and my dad said, well, you do not need to be a teacher. And she's like, well, I've never been able to handle kids, or any kids at that matter. I can even barely control my own kids. And my parents were like, well, you don't even deserve to be a teacher or in this field. You need to find something else to do. So, I might go, like, back and forth or something. But, so, I turned in a project. We had to do a project for math, a percent project. And
me and Carly spent all weekend working on it. Sorry.
And me and Young Fox, we decided to do our projects together. Even though they're separate projects, we still helped each other. And this lady decided that, well, why would it be fun to rip pieces of paper off this girl's project? I don't know why she thought that, but I was the only one who she did that to. She also scribbled all over Young Fox's project and got her mom mad.
And said that I didn't turn it in.
Yep, and if she didn't turn something in, then why is it hanging up in the classroom? Also, she told my mom I never did my work, and now she was trying to start and get me to, every time she gives me a piece of paper, she put it on a notebook, sheet of paper, and she'd say, Carly checked out this piece of paper, Carly has this, and then I'd have to sign it when I turn it in. Well, she whited out my name, and the other day when my parents had a meeting about this, she tried to refuse whiting out when you can clearly see it's whited out. Now, this lady's done several things to Young Fox here, and I'm gonna hand her the mic, and I'll be back in just a minute because I feel like I've been talking for like 12 minutes, and you need to hear her side. So here we go. Here's her side.
Okay, guys. So I'm back, and so our teacher's basically insane. So I'm not even kidding. She has done a whole bunch of crazy crap. Like, she's called me out on my ADHD before, and she has denied that I've turned in projects. And one thing really got my mom set off. Same with Carly's mom. So I have ADHD, and it's diagnosed with me. And they would, and I cannot be moved during class. Well, especially during an assignment. And in the middle of class, our teacher's like, no, you have to move. She moves me onto the other side of the room. She moves me to the other side of the room, and with these girls, and I'm like, with 2 girls that are really annoying, and they can't ever get work done because they're always talking. So, if I'm moved during the middle of an assignment, it takes me a long time to get back to focus. So, my teacher thought it was basically getting mad at me, sort of, for not being able to get back to focus, when she doesn't realize that if you move me during class, I cannot focus, and it's against my whole 504 plan to move me. So we've been having a whole bunch of problems with this, and yeah. And Carly and her parents have been having constant meetings, and then after the meetings, her mom will call my mom, and they have this whole long conversation on speaker about it, and then I'm being asked questions, Carly's being asked questions about this teacher, and, oh, not to mention, one day I have a friend over, and we're watching YouTube, and we find top 5 worst nurses caught on camera. One looks exactly like our teacher. I'm like, oh crap. and it was like her name. I'm like, oh, no, no, no. It looked exactly like her, and whew, she was Italian too, like our teacher right now. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? And I have the picture saved on my phone of this. I'm like, well, no, not my phone, my tablet. I was like, what the frick? Next day, Carly comes over to hang out with me and my friend. And she freaking falls to the floor of this. Like, legitimately. Falls to the floor of terror. I was like, well, let's not do that. Because that is not a fun sight. Especially since I just got hardwood floors in my room. So, I bet that hurt. So, and there's been a whole bunch of other crap, and some I do not remember, but the main one that happened recently was she got kicked out after testing for some kid. He hit his head on the table and everyone started laughing, and then our teacher said she was the only one laughing for a really long time, and yada yada yada. She got kicked out. I come back, I'm like, where's Carly? My friends sitting at the table with us were like, oh, she got kicked out. And I waited until she got back to ask why, because I didn't really want to get all nosy about it, because I bet a few of them didn't know what was going on either. So I just waited, and when she got back, our teacher started yelling at her and telling her to go back outside for another 2 minutes. I was like, what the frick is this lady doing? I'm like, okay. So, but Carly just ignored her for a few minutes and sat back down, and then a few days, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, her mom and the teacher had another meeting. It was during second elective 2, our lunchtime. Everyone does not know what's going on except for me. No one knows what's going down in that classroom but me and Carly and her parents at this point. And I see my teacher through the window of the door, crossing her arms, leaning back and having this huffy face. And I can't really see Carly or her mom's face because they are facing away from the door. I'm like, what is going down in that room? So I wait. Huh? Okay. So basically, they finished up the meeting. I sit down. I wait a few minutes for Carly to go to her locker to get her lunch. She comes back. She sits down, and our teacher tells us to be quiet for 5 minutes. We wait for those 5 minutes to go by. I ask her, "Hey, what went down that meeting?" And none of my friends understand what I was talking about, except for me and Carly. So she tells me what. I still do not basically know what had gone down in that room, but the day before, our male dean, that Tuesday, my dean stopped my mom with Glitter Cub and Carly, because Carly was riding home with us that day, and he was telling us that there's cameras in the room. The next day, we look all up around the ceiling. There is not a single camera in that room. And I'm like, wait, this guy just lied straight to my mother's face. And that is a big no-no for my mom. Because my mom has a really bad temper when people lie to her like that. Especially when it's about her daughter and one of her really close friends that's basically like a sister. Because Carly basically lives in my house is how much she comes over. So we're just sitting there like, our dean just lied to my mother's face. And me and Carly both know if you do that, it's a big no-no, and you will not want to ever wish upon you seeing her mad. So we just continue on with the day, and when I get home from school that day, my mom gets off work. She comes downstairs, and she's like, how's your day? And I'm like, well, little did I know she was actually on the phone with Carly's mom. I was like, did you know there's not even a single camera in that room? Not even a single one. I looked all around the ceiling. Not a single camera. I was like, my mom looked at me dead in the eye and was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? Because she did not like me saying that. talking? Oh, do you want to get the camera?
Yeah, no,
I've been talking. Well, I'm going to hand the mic to Carly now, so here you go.
Alright, guys. While Young Fox here was talking to you guys, I tried to reach back in my memory and try to find some things. So, sorry if I'm out of breath. I just ran up and down the stairs like 7 times to find something. One. So, the other day, my mom had a meeting in Pineville. She could not pick me up, and also my brother had surgery that day, and so she couldn't pick me up, nor could my dad. So, Young Fox here, her mom picked me up with her, since we go to the same school. And that was the same day I got kicked out of class for laughing. And Young Fox mom here is like my second mother, and I love her with all my heart. And so basically, we were walking by. I told Young Fox mom what was going on, since she's part of that drama also. And we were walking by, and the dean goes, "Hey, I got a text from Miss Danaher, the PE teacher, and I want to know what's going on." And I'm like, I got kicked out of class for laughing for no reason, yada yada yada. And so basically, then he was like, okay. And then Young Fox mom's talking, and they're like, and then
They tell us there's cameras in the room.
And then they go, the dean goes, "That's why we're excited for the cameras." And Young Fox mom goes, "Well, when did the cameras get here? Like, when are, like, what cameras?" And like, "Oh, they got installed over break. They're in here now." And Young Fox, the next day I go in there, and there's no cameras. We look around. What I thought was a camera was a smoke detector. There's no cameras in there. 2 days later, when my mom has a meeting with them, there's also no cameras, and my mom confronts them about lying to her and Young Fox's mother. Also, this teacher targets me, this boy in my class named James Clyburn, sometimes Dimitri, and Riley Simerson. And
These boys you can understand, because they do not shout.
I'm the only girl, and if we really want to get technical, she is racist and sexist. I'm the only girl she picks on. She picks on 3 other boys. She has favorites, and except for
the spoiled brats.
and James Clyburn is African American, not to be racist, but me and him are the loudest people in our class, which that comes naturally. You can't tell us we have to be quiet because we cannot physically do that. And then the other kids are white. Don't worry, I'm white too, so I don't want any hate comments about racism, okay?
The main people that watch this is my cousin. Calm down.
And who? Lauren? And so, I'm sorry you didn't hear that. Young Fox's cousin. And then me and Lulu. So let's talk. So winter break comes, I'm talking to Lulu. I'm like, "Oh, you got a new haircut. I love your hair." People make fun of her because she's like overweight and stuff. And I'm like, "Don't worry. Like, you're loved. We love you." And so there's no homo, of course. Young Fox cousin. Seriously, no homo. And so she's feeling like uncomfortable about her body and the way she looks. I loved her haircut. She loved her haircut. Other people did not. So then I talked to her truthfully, and she asked me, "Hey, did anyone talk about my hair? Like, are people talking about hair?" I'm like, "Yeah. Some people are talking some really nasty stuff about your hair. People don't like your hair and stuff like that." And then I was like, "But if you like your hair, you deserve to show yourself to the world how you feel." And I was like, "I love it for you. Me personally, I wouldn't cut my hair like that. But if you love it, I love it. And I love that on you because you're embracing you and how you feel. And you're not worried about how other people feel." So then she goes to the psychopath teacher, Miss Donatoni. I'm going to say her full name. Mrs.
No. Don't you even.
Donatoni. Sorry. Young Fox here won't let me say her full name.
No. No.
What? It's not like she's gonna see this.
I feel like she will. Because in my old school, they used to trace everything we did on the internet. That terrified the crap out of me.
And so, basically, where did I leave off? You interrupted me.
About...
Oh, and so Lulu talked to Miss Donatoni about it. She was like, people are talking about my hair. I don't feel comfortable anymore. And then she was like, who told you that? And she said, Carly. And I was like, and then she was like, well, if it's coming from Harley, I wouldn't trust her because she lies all the time and you should not trust someone like her or her at all. And then she was like, you shouldn't be friends with her, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, I am less than 10 feet away from her. We are at recess. Yes, for some reason middle schoolers have recess, but don't worry, it's only 15 minutes long. So I'm like not even 10 feet away from her talking to my friends, Young Fox, Zenaida, Shelby, all of them. You know, good stuff. Mostly drama. And so then I hear my name and I turn around and we make dead eye contact for 30 seconds, some long 30 seconds. And I ask her, why are you talking about me behind my back? She was like, I wasn't. So then I thought about this because I knew that I need to start thinking things out before doing what my first instinct tells me. So as the day went on, I thought about it, and by the end of the day, I was like, look, I need to stand strong, I need to stay on my feet. I'm not going to let this woman get to me. I'm going to confront her. So I confronted her during dismissal, and I said, I have a question. Did you talk about me or something to another student? She was like, no, why would I do that? And I was like, just don't lie because I heard you say it and so did all my friends. And she goes, oh, and I was like, if you don't want me talking badly about you or if you don't want anybody talking badly about you, then don't talk about me like that, especially to another student. Like, that's like unprofessional. And so she got mad. We started arguing and like Lulu came over and she was like, Miss Donatoni, stop lying. You were talking about her. And then Miss Donatoni gave her that look like, why'd you tell her that I was trying to lie about it and stuff? And meanwhile, Young Fox left because her mom always picks her up early. Like, she's like one of the first people to get called. And so we're arguing. And then, like, I get, like, really ticked off. And then we start arguing. And that's what also led to another meeting. Not the one I was talking about earlier, but to another meeting. Then... let's see.
She's looking back at her notes that she had wrote down all that 5-10 minutes that I was talking earlier.
Yep, and she tried to get me and Young Foxer to stop being friends. Like, she won. I got to school. She was mad at me for some reason. Who knows? She probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Her husband divorced her. Who knows? Who cares? I mean, very seriously, who cares? Anyway, she...
Yeah. Okay, give me a minute.
And she tells me that she tells me that I'm not allowed to be around my friends anymore. So, in our classroom, we have tables that we connect, like, 2 or 3 tables together. And so I'm like, okay. And then my friends start sitting around me, and I'm like, oh, hi, friends. And I was like, she moves me for no reason. So then she started moving other people around me. I don't know why, but she starts moving people around me, and I get in there, and Young Fox is late, and so anyway, sorry, hold on, I was reading something. So when we got there, she literally moved Fox away from me. She moved my friends, Zenaida, Shelby, Lulu, all my friends away from me. Even people who didn't even like me or hated me, she moved them away from me. So I was at an 8-person table by myself, and there was other people sitting on the floor. That's how bad she wanted them to stay away from me. And, you know, that kind of ticked me off and stuff. And so then, that's that one. And then, she starts telling, this is what got me and me and Fox to stop talking for the longest amount of time. We stopped talking for like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And it was all because she told me that Renee was talking badly behind my back. My gullible self believed that for some reason. She told her I was cussing. She told me that Renee was cussing at me behind my back and a bunch of other stuff. And then she told Renee that I said that I didn't like her hair because she dyes her hair a lot. Right now her hair is like teal. And it's like changing colors and stuff. It looks like poopy green at the bottom and like blonde and stuff. And so then she's like she's telling Young Fox, all this stuff about her, to me. So basically she's telling me stuff that Renee, Fox didn't actually say to me, and stuff I never said about Fox to her. And so basically, drama. And then she did the same thing with my friend Lulu and Sonaida. So then we were like, we had no friends at school or in that classroom for like 2 weeks. And what?
The time.
30:10?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been talking for 31 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
And I know you guys are.
It's a juicy story, though.
I know. And if I'm not good at telling story times.
I need permission after this to write a whole story about this. Can I?
Sure.
Yes!
And then, it's just the usual. I want you guys to do me a favor. This story time's not over, but comment down below if you have ever had a teacher, or if you ever had a teacher that did something like this to you, or if you ever had anyone pick on you, or I know my voice sounds really horrible when it's being recorded, but comment down below if you've ever had someone pick on you or something similar happened to you. It doesn't even have to be a teacher that's picking on you. Just comment down below. Also, this also isn't the end of the vlog, but don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the video notifications, and hit the bell. So, I'm going to hand the mic over to Young Fox. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but I will be back, I have to think, because I had that, that notebook I was talking about earlier? Yeah, I had that, but I left it at home because I was not expecting us to be having a talk.
I told you about this. I told you about me planning on doing this.
And then also, well, I didn't know I was coming over tonight. It was at school anyway.
Oh, sure, yeah. Hey, you left it at school?
Yeah, on accident.
Oh my god, you already know she's gonna read that thing.
It's in my locker.
Yeah,
she doesn't know she doesn't have the combination.
Ooh, dang good. Because if you already know she'd gone through it.
And so, what was I saying? I'll be back in a minute. And also today is, can I say it? Mm-hmm. Today I'm at her house right now. I spent the night last night. I'm also spending the night tonight. But she is celebrating her 13th birthday party. Her birthday isn't until later this week. I'm not going to say the day for any pedophiles out there. But her birthday party's today. And if Young Fox Gamer's cousin's watching this, then please comment down below. Love you, girl. And here
she commented. You already know. She said something, but she left a long time ago. She left that in the beginning of the thing.
And so here's the mic for Young Fox.
Not to. Hey guys, Young Fox Gamer back here. Okay, so yeah, so about that whole notebook thing. So she has. Carly here has a whole 2 pages of her about our teacher talking crap about her and all that good stuff. And yeah, all that jazz. That was really surprising to me how she had gotten 2 full pages about this woman. Because
I have more than 2 pages actually now.
Oh yeah, we have more than 2 pages now because this teacher is rude and she seriously will find any way to pick on her students. She targets at least 2 or 3 students in each core class she has, probably electives too. Because she does this Spanish elective for some reason. I mean, for Pete's sake, dude, I don't know. Don't, no. She's just... I don't even know how to put this into words. because, like, she has targeted me before. So a little bit about this whole first background on how she outlashed on me. So first time, it was like the first 2-3 weeks of her being there, and I was not medicated that day, or even within those 3 weeks. So she doesn't, and I forgot to tell her I have ADHD and all that cool jazz. Yeah, and I expected our dean at the time to tell her about my ADHD and all that. Little did she know this, she was never told this. So one day I lose focus for like 5 seconds. I open up a manga book, and I'm reading a few pages. I get through not even one strip of the page, and she's like, "Fox Gamer, what are you doing reading a book in my class?" I'm like, ooh, she screamed my name in front of everybody, and I was like, oh crap, this is embarrassing. Everyone looked at me and started laughing. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Why'd you call me out in front of the whole freaking class about this? So after class, I confronted her. I was like, hey, I'm sorry about me losing focus in class. I can't really help it. I have ADHD. She looked at me like I was a crazy kid. Right there. Quiet Fox. And yeah. But I'm not even kidding. And she seriously called me out, and then so I go on with my day. I don't even know what happened after that. I told my mom. I'm going to call her Mama Fox now. So basically, Mama Fox was like all not so happy about this. I told her how she looked at me like I was a crazy kid and all that. And it was not really fun for me seeing my mom as mad as she was, but I already knew my mom deserved the truth of how my teacher was treating me, because for Pete's sake, she didn't start doing this until 3 weeks later after her being here. I was like, why is she starting to do this now? She was a really, like, nice teacher, but later on we get to notice that she doesn't really teach us anything. She just writes crap on the board and expects everyone to know this. Like, almost everyone in our class, like a big majority of our class, cannot understand what she's saying, and because of her accent. And then second of all, she just gives us random pages in a book and tells us to do them. Like, she gave us this, like, table type thing, and it was like a whole bunch of letters plus random stuff. I'm like, what? No one understood how to do it. She just wrote down one row of that whole thing. Didn't even explain how we got that. How she got that. So we had no clue how to do this. And when somebody didn't know how to do it, they would sit there and do nothing, because their mind goes blank when they don't know how to do anything. So she would basically be yelling at us for this. I'm like, why are you doing this now? Why? So then our dean's sitting there in the back of the class, the whole class. Then he decides to step in and help us out with our work. I thought that was a freaking prayer for a minute. I was like, yes. It's you. But I'm not even kidding. I was so happy that our dean stepped in to help us out, because if he hadn't stepped in, I probably would have lost my mind. Because, like, seriously, it was like a whole bunch of letters plus another letter, and didn't explain how we got it, and I was like, yes, thank you. And this has happened multiple times. Usually our dean would never step in. Like our old dean, she would just tell our teacher, hey, how, other than you doing that, can you do this? That would just make things 100 times worse, because she would just act all nice when our deans were in the room or another staff member. And then later on in the day, once they leave, she just turns into a different person. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this lady? So we just go on with the day, and we act like everything's fine, because, I mean, there are days going pretty good until we have, like, until we have homeroom and lunch. That's the main times we have time with her. So, oh, give me a minute, guys. So, Carly wants to talk. So, all right. She's trying to watch my video while.
Shut up. Okay, so guys, hi. First semester's gone by, and first semester's gone by.
How much stuff has gone by second semester already? It's only been like 2 weeks in. Like a whole bunch of crap's gone down within the 2 weeks. Bye. You know what, guys? Comment down below if you guys want a part 2 of the story, if there is another story or anything else that happens in the year, because I bet there's a whole bunch of those that's going to happen.
Anyway, it's second semester, and I have one of her electives. That is not okay. Basically what had happened was, she, at her Spanish elective, because she speaks Italian, she says she speaks Cuban, but she doesn't know anything in Cuban. Says she speaks Chinese, but I know for sure she speaks a little bit of Spanish, and she speaks Italian, and she was born and raised in Italy. So basically, what I'm doing today is just telling you her elective. So I have her Spanish, and she gets really mad at me because I am doing recycling that was accepted by the dean, that I have. It's not mandatory, but I'm doing for our community, not for the school, but for the community. And let's just be honest, I don't do anything for that school. I do it all for God, and I praise God every day. And anyway, so I'm doing recycling, and she does not like me doing recycling, and she has a problem with it. And I was like, well, then talk to the dean about it, because I've been doing this all year long, and I did it all year last year. So yeah, I don't know what your problem is. Anyway, we are about to. There's 2 people online.
Watching the video. Yeah. Probably that girl Save is watching stuff. Alright. So if that's you, I'll see you later.
Hey, if it's that girl Save, comment down below if you're coming to the party, cause I'm gonna be there, and I want to know if you're gonna be there. So comment down below that girl Save.
She is. I already know she is. She's just going to be late, I bet. So.
And then if it's also that girl Sebe, how late do you think you're going to be? How late do you think you're going to be? Because you're probably going to be really late because your mother is always late at myself.
Carly, stop.
Anyway, so we're about to wrap up this video.
Okay.
We're about to wrap up this video, maybe. And don't forget, I know that I say this a lot, but don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification, and hit the bell. And also, comment down below if you want a part 2, because trust me, there will be a lot of those, a lot of different parts. Comment down if you want a part 2, and if you want us to keep you guys updated and stuff. Well, she can't do this video parts without me.
Yeah, it'll have to be like when you come over.
Which I'm over here all the time, what do you mean? And we might do another video after her party and stuff.
If we get any, like, funny things about the party, how it goes, so tell us and all that.
Yep, so we'll probably make another video later and tell you how the party went, and if that girl Sebe is late or not, and how late she was. Anyway, guys, we gotta get ready for this party, so talk to you later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification, and hit the bell. Bye. Deuces.
Okay, guys, so I'm back. So, yeah, we're going to wrap up this video here, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And, yeah, so we might be doing part 2 on this story. If you guys want another part of this, let me know. There'll be a whole bunch of these. I'm probably going to be uploaded as long as I have my PlayStation with me. So, yeah, guys. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get notified whenever I post another video. Fox Gamer out. Bye, guys.